Greetings, Seka. So, British Seka, I'm a little perturbed that you scammed me about the Amber buff. What do you mean? A new voice actor is an improvement, which is also called a buff. Dude, I'm so fucking mad at you right now. But clearly, it's funny. So what do you want to talk about today? I was looking at the new weapon banner, and I honestly thought that there was something really interesting about it.
I will have order.
It's that this man subscribed to me on Twitch. Oh yeah, that's so interesting about the weapon banner, really. Well, clearly, you should also be following me there. British Second, stop promoting Twitch. What is it? Do you know that there's a scam on the weapon banner? I'm just gonna leave. All right, so I was looking into the banners and I was looking at Sucrose. And I was like, I really need Sucrose for Asia. But at the same time, I was looking at the weapon banner. And the Venti banner, you can summon for him if you need him, if you want him, whatever. Like that part, the Venti banner, if you want Venti, he clusters everybody in one area. He's super nice for that situation. He's always going to be useful at some point. He's a great character. And then I was looking into like the other 4 stars and like, if you like him, you like him, whatever. Sucrose is great. Definitely for Sucrose. All right. But the weapon banner got me thinking. I was looking at the weapon banner and the Skyward Blade is a really interesting weapon. I use it sometimes. And the only reason, by the way, that I want to use this weapon ever, there's only one reason to use this weapon. Because Jean looks really cool with this weapon. Honestly, like the aesthetics, she's like a fucking Jedi, dude. I don't know what it is, but I really like Jean with this weapon. Just aesthetically, that's probably the #1 reason to summon for this banner. If you don't summon for this banner, you're a fucking pleb. Anyways, moving on for Jean Sims. Looking at the banner in general, I am kind of taken aback because the thing I want to summon for on the banner is just because I'm curious, and the only thing I'm curious about is the alley flash. Everything else I don't really care about. I only care about the alley flash, and just because I'm curious about how a 620 base attack weapon does with a very low stat pool, you know, that's why I'm curious about this banner. Okay, everything else I don't care about, actually. Favonius bows, whatever. Favonius greatswords, whatever. Dragon's Bane, I mean, I guess you could really like for Yu Tao. That'd be great if you need it. You know, that's cool. But the Elegy of the Elegy for the End is such a weird weapon. And I wanted to go over this weapon and talk about why I'm not a super big fan of this weapon in general. Because I found something in the game that is the exact same as this weapon, but budget version. And I'm just blown away that this is even comparison. Okay. So if you don't know what the Elegy for the End bow does, it's an energy recharge main stat weapon for like support characters so that you can get your ultimate up quickly. That's nice, you know, for those kinds of weapons. All right. Essentially, it's going to give you 60 EM flat. It just gives you that base amount of EM. And at higher refines, that EM boost gets all the way up to 120. Okay, it's a very long text block, I know. Okay, when you ever use a skill or a burst, you basically get these stacks, and these stacks will help you get a buff that will transfer you to your team. That's the nuts and bolts of it. There's nothing else you need to know about it. The buff scales from 100 to 200 EM based on refine, and 20 to 40% attack based on refine as well. It then goes on a 20-second cooldown once it's triggered. So there's basically an 8-second downtime on this weapon. So you know. So, is it good? Well, when I was looking at this weapon, I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm riding Venti hype train. This sounds great. However, there's actually a budget version of this. So, the budget version of this weapon, which is so interesting, is on Sucrose, who's also on the banner, which is hilarious, okay? And the budget version provides really similar values because just Sucrose is a character, and you don't even need to summon for weapons. Like 90% of you already have this on your accounts, I'm assuming. So the budget version, if you didn't know, is Sucrose's talent 1. And the talent 1, I know you can't read it, is 50 EM transfer. So I'm gonna write that down. You get a total of 50 EM, okay? And then her talent 2 gives you 20% of her total EM. So it's 50 EM plus 20. All right, because that's the case, and you get 50% plus your total, plus 20% of your total EM, if you stacked Elemental Mastery on your Sucrose, and you then used another weapon, I'm only at 500 right now, 20% of 500, let's just say, is, I'll do a calculator, 518. For those of you who like really need to do this correctly, it's 103.6. Okay, 103.6. And then plus the 50, okay, for 50 EM. So now it's 153.6, okay? Elemental Mastery, okay? So that's what you get with Sucrose so far. Now, if what I have equipped right now is an Elemental Mastery Goblet. You probably should go with Energy Recharge on the goblets, by the way, with the main substats. I just, whatever. Some Elemental Mastery on this piece, but I didn't even, bother getting the headpiece because I was like, whatever. And an Elemental Mastery timepiece, okay? You want as much Energy Recharge on the other piece as you can, but, or an Elemental Mastery, I just don't have it because I just haven't, taken the time to find the pieces. But looking into Sucrose, if that's the case, what you can do is also equip a Thrilling Tales of the Dragon. Because most of you guys have already guessed this. If you haven't already, you get a total of 48% attack from Thrilling Tales of the Dragon to your party members. So if you're using Sucrose and you just use your E ability, you then switch to another character that's your DPS, and now you get the same buff from a level 1 3-star weapon. I forgot the Y now. So what I'm saying is, why would I summon for a 5-star weapon that makes Venti do what Sucrose does? So Mihoyo has essentially packaged a brand new weapon that I can use for seemingly the same buff on a 4-star character with a 4-star weapon, but now I need to pay for it with Venti. I don't understand why I would ever do that, because I don't need to use Venti to give Sucrose's buff to my friends. I might as well just use Sucrose. The only thing that I get out of it is Venti's kit, and Venti's kit transfers by using Venti to just cluster everybody in one ball in front of me. But there's really no reason for me to summon for a 5-star weapon and a 5-star character to do what a 4-star weapon and a 4-star character and a 3-star weapon do at Constellation 0 and on Refine 5. So I'm just really confused as to why I would summon for the Elegy for the end. Especially since Sucrose with this setup is actually technically better than Refine 1 of the Elegy at the end. She's actually better than Refine 1. It's actually really funny is that it takes till about Refine 3 for this to even become comparable, where you get 150 EM and 30% attack. And then Refine 4, it's technically maybe better, but Refine 5, it's better. So it's like a double Sucrose. I guess if you wanted 2 Sucroses on one team, I guess that's a good reason to it. But to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if I'm okay with summoning on this weapon banner. I was actually really excited early on to summon on this weapon banner because I was like, oh, sweet. But now I'm like, I don't know if I want to summon at all. And I think the only thing I'm actually excited about on this weapon banner is going for one copy of the Alley Flash. Because I only want Refine 1 of this weapon. Refine 5 just seems like way too much. But if I get for Refine 5, that'd be pretty cool too. But I kind of want to just do weapon tests for the Alley Flash. And I don't really care about the Elegy for the end, because what's the difference between that and Sucrose? You're not going to be able to see any kind of different numbers. You're just going to see pretty much the same thing, unless you're going for Refine 5. It's not going to boost the best team comps in the game, because if we're doing the best team comps in the game for damage, they all revolve around the same main criteria. The only replacement now is that Sucrose is now replaced in the team comp for Venti for a marginal increase in damage when you're using Mona plus, say, Hu Tao. Oh, I forgot Hu Tao. Sorry. Where's Hu Tao? There she is. Hu Tao, and then the last character being Bennett. Every DPS showcase in the game uses these 3 core characters and then insert DPS character here for an elemental reaction combination for like Child, Hu Tao, etc. Because you get the most damage boost you can possibly get with these characters. So my real question is, why would you summon in general for this weapon? I don't see the value, because all that happens is Sucrose gets replaced on your team composition with Venti. And because that happens, you get like maybe a 5 to 10% increased damage increase if you get Refine 5 on the weapon, and you also get Venti's stuff. So here's the real benefit I saw from summoning on this between that and Sucrose. When you look at Sucrose's constellations don't really provide any extra damage value. You can't see it, so I'll put it on here. So Sucrose constellations do not provide any kind of damage value besides the 20% damage bonus that you get from C6, but you can't really use that in a DPS boosting situation, so this doesn't really come into play. But the thing you get is actually from Venti constellations, and Venti constellations actually boost you pretty significantly, where you can actually lower animal resistance while enemies are airborne by up to 24%. You can lower elemental, moves animal damage, and of course boost your overall damage by lowering animal resistance and corresponding resistance by an additional 20%. So this, because C6 Venti exists, super big whales can actually do even more damage with C6 Venti and this combination with the Refine 5 weapon versus just using the same thing with Sucrose. And the damage increase is not going to be so big that you're going to see huge number increases. It's going to be this much. It's going to be like a 20 to 30% bump in total overall damage, I think. I don't think it's going to be that much. It might be more, but we'll see. But I'm really surprised that this weapon exists in general, because the only thing that you get out of it is being able to use this on Venti. Record that or not record that? Oh, damn. Did I not record any of that? I didn't record any of it. Okay, boys. The record button didn't work. It turned off after that. Restart and get your VOD? Right? So that's the end of my soapbox regarding the Venti banner and the overall banner with the new Elegy the End weapon. I don't really think that this is a worth banner to summon on unless you're looking for the Alley Flash, because I don't want you to waste your resources on something you already have on your account. Try to save your resources, please, chat. Try to save them, YouTube. Whatever you got to do, it's probably better to not spend anything on this weapon banner unless you're going for the 4-star weapon. All right, guys. Well, my name's Sekapoko. Thanks so much for watching. I'm really kind of on the fence on summoning for banners right now. I want to summon because I just want to do something, but there's not much to do in summon for. I want content to play to summon for. Like, give me a reason why this weapon banner is actually like super nice, like bow restricted characters or something like that. And be like, oh, okay, I understand you're doing pay to win content or whatever. But I don't really think there's any reason to summon for this weapon banner. Like, if you could think of one, please let me know in the comment section down below. But have a great rest of the day, guys. Peace.